Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Nikki, and here with me I've got my co-workers Kriller
Hello.
and Pille.
Hey.
Today we are going to talk about the first episode of season 4 in Black Mirror, called USS Callister. And therefore I've brought an expert to the studio. His name is Casper, and he's going to give us a review of the episode. Tell him, Casper.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful to be here. So, if you're not familiar with the series Black Mirror, it's usually about how technology can be used to either hurt an individual or humanity as a whole. In this episode, we follow Robert Daly, a reclusive but gifted programmer and co-founder of a popular, massive multiplayer online game, who is bitter over the lack of recognition in his position by his co-workers. He takes out his frustrations by simulating a Star Trek-like space adventure within the game, using his co-workers' DNA to create sentient digital clones of them. Acting as the captain of the USS Callister starship, Daly is able to order his co-workers around, bend them to his will, and mistreat them if they step out of line. When Daly brings newly hired Nanette Cole into the game, she encourages the other clones to revolt against Daly.
Okay, that was really great, Casper. So, what did you guys think was interesting about the episode?
Okay, so for me, like being the first time I've ever seen one of these Black Mirror episodes, I kind of feel like it was very like weird. Like if you don't know about the series beforehand, it's really weird. So like get this feeling that all the things they do in it is just so fucking morally wrong, and the thing, especially the things Daily do, like copying these people's DNAs and then taking them into his game, is like really, really fucking weird.
I wouldn't call it weird though. I think it's more interesting to like see this reality because it's much closer than we would think.
Yeah, I'd agree on that. I think it's important for literature to kind of show what could go wrong in some ways, so we can actually acknowledge that something might happen like this in some way.
I think it's a really interesting thing to bring up because like the DNA thing he got to like scan in the people in his game, that is amazing technology, and I would be so interested in seeing when we'll be able to have that. I mean, sure, in this episode they use it to something creepy, but like it could also be used on a much better scale. Like you can use it defense-wise, like if you can get some DNA from an animal that keeps on giving some sort of virus to the people, like you can find out how that animal is built up much easier if you can scan in the DNA like that.
Yeah, but also that just puts out the question, the thing that we have to watch out for all these bad things that can happen, and we need to protect ourselves from it.
Yeah, I just assume like in the future, if we have this sort of technology, it will not be something that is privately owned by a person like Robert here. I think it'll be something that is owned by some big companies that know how to use it, or maybe the government, something like that.
But
But
do you
what
think
the
we can
bit-
control that? Like,
I mean, we can control it to that extent that it won't get into somebody's hands in private matter, and I assume there'll be nobody that will like use this technology to such sort of thing at their workspace.
Yeah, but I think the problem with this episode here, it's not privately owned really. It's him using the technology he has at work and perhaps tapping into it while at home in some way. He's the creator of this, or at least the program, so he can use it.
But I don't
anyway.
think anybody knows about his technology. There's nobody, like, the thing he got is like an extended version, as far as I understand. Like, the game is a game just like a normal computer game. The thing with the DNA scanner to put his own private people in is something he developed by himself that nobody else know about.
I think the people would know about this in some way, right? But I think he got it because the workplace were like, this would be much easier to make something more realistic if we could just scan things in and then perhaps not make it directly clones used for something else, but he might just be misusing it in some way. Of course, we don't know how he got his hands on this technology in some way, but I don't think it might not be something that's privately owned, but he's just misusing it without anyone
no, he
knowing.
created it.
Yeah,
No,
he's
he
the
created the
creator.
game, but did he create the thing that made it possible that he could just scan DNA into the game. We don't know that part.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
know.
we don't know. We don't know about that. That's also interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
Okay, so I can agree to a lot of the things that you guys just said, and Peter and Casper, you guys seemed very interested in the show, but Killer, you had some negative thoughts about the show, and you described it as really weird. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah. So the reason I think it's weird is like I don't like to like talk and think about just like things that are morally wrong, like him literally copying them and taking them into his own game and then abusing them in their like the fact that he's playing God with humans. It's just like I just get the feeling that it's fucked up, and I don't ever want to be a part of this, and I don't ever want this to be a part of the universe.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from because it's also really creepy that he actually knows that like his duplicates inside his game, they actually like have feelings too. If it was like he didn't know that they were still alive in there, then it would be more sort of okay to
Yeah.
watch. But the fact that he actually knows they're having emotions and
Yeah, they're like
they
real persons.
they know what's going on,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. Also,
Yeah.
the part that he kills his brother's son.
Yeah.
Was it his brother?
No, just the co-worker,
The co-worker.
the co-founder. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
That's-
fact that he killed his son, that's just
While having him to look on it.
yeah, that's just disgusting.
That-
Well, opposing to what you guys just said, I'd argue that it makes the show a lot more interesting to watch something that you don't like. Setting up the questions that we just asked, and actually, when you think about it, putting into real life and how you wouldn't like it, it makes you an emotional response in you that just makes it more enjoyable to watch to some extent, right?
Yeah, totally understand what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I mean, they could probably still make something better that's not as uncomfortable as like somebody killing his coworker's son.
But it just puts it into a better perspective on how bad this actually is.
Oh yeah, how he can misuse it? Yeah, I guess that's true. That's really true. We would never thought about it if it wasn't for that. So yeah, that's good.
So, what kind of message is the show trying to give us? Like, is there any hidden meanings in this story?
Oh, so I think the episode's allegory is probably that technology is advancing, and you can abuse the technology, and therefore we should be careful with the things we do with the technology, and we should be careful with the possibilities we can do, the possibility things we can make with the technology.
I agree on that.
Yeah, make some baseline sounds like a good idea. Like make some rules or laws against some of the things that happen.
Yeah, that's definitely the future.
Okay, so now we've had a good talk about the show, and we all had different opinions on it, but overall we all thought it was a very special and very exciting story to watch, and we would definitely recommend it to other people. Right, guys?
Well,
Yep.
I think it depends on the person because sci-fi isn't for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So if you like sci-fi, go on Netflix, search for Black Mirror, search for episode 1 in the season 4, and watch the whole movie. That was all,
Yeah,
guys.
The whole series. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye.